All right.
I've been freezing up a little bit, or you have,
Rita.
so we'll have to see what
Have
happens.
you? Uh-oh. Yeah. Yeah, we'll find out. Fingers crossed.
You're just froze a little. Did I freeze to you? You
Oh,
froze to me.
you did not freeze to me, nor
Okay,
did I
so
freeze to me. So
this
let's
time
hope we're not
it's
freezing. Fingers crossed when we play it back, it's not freezing. If
so.
it is, bear with us.
Linda, what are we talking
So
about
yes.
today?
Well, I want to talk about special needs cats.
Yeah.
So, there are people who are just drawn to adopt special needs cats. They want a special need cat. And then there seems to only be two playing fields, because then the other side is, I don't have the time or the experience for that. I'm not doing it. So, but I have found there are levels of special needs cats.
Yeah.
So for example, what Hannah Shaw goes on The Kitten Lady and talks about kittens that are going to need to be bottle fed every so often. They're going to need a heating pad laying down. This isn't, first of all, this is not as scary as it looks. It seems that way, but it's not. I'm not one. My sleep is very important. I've given birth 3 times. I've done my night shifts.
Sleep?
I'm not interested in that.
What's that?
Yeah, right. What is that? But so yeah, I'm not really enthralled with that. But it's not as difficult, and there are so many great resources out there. And if you're somebody who's staying at home, again, if you're working in an office, this cat's going to need to be fed while you're at work. So this is not going to work unless you have help. But
so what if you have a cat that then becomes a special needs cat, right? You didn't like Smoochie.
Yeah.
Of course, she was kind of special needs from the start because she was 4 weeks old, but she had a leg dangling. I don't know if it was a birth defect, and I had to have it amputated. We had to wait till she was about 3 months old, and then they amputated it. So she became a special needs cat. She's 3-legged tripod.
Yes.
But I didn't knowing that was going to happen.
Well, that's true. Yeah. In the range of a special needs cat that's going to take a lot of your time, a special needs cat that really isn't going to take anything extra, and some in the middle, I think Smoochie falls between the middle and the bottom, right? Like, you had to go through the surgery and the healing, but she doesn't really require anything extra right now. She gets along fine as a tripod. You do need to keep in mind, we believe that she experiences ghost pains from her lost limb.
And I have to keep available low litter pans so she can step into them easy.
Yes. So that's one that I say is, minor. It's
and you
you're going to need to make a couple of.
You have a special cat.
Yeah, Kismet, nobody wanted Kismet because Kismet had a FIV, and FIV used to be a death sentence. I had a cat once that we took in. It was a stray, and we fell in love, and we decided we're going to take him in. And when we took him to get neutered, we found out he had FIV, and the vet wanted to euthanize him immediately, and I allowed that, not knowing what I know now.
That's what they used to do.
That now.
That's
yeah, because they just really believed that, he explained to me it's like AIDS in humans and his immunity, and there's gonna be those problems, and it's communicable, and we have to get rid of this cat. So that was devastating to me, and I've never forgotten it. Well, then years later, I'm working with you, and someone in North Carolina posts a picture of this cat that she has rescued from a feral colony that was not feral. Kissy's like, purr, I love you. And she's like, So Rita couldn't take in any more cats, but this is exactly the kind of cat that hits Rita's heart. She wanted this cat, but she couldn't because she was at her limit. So she starts sending me pictures of this cat.
You weren't at your limit yet.
And I wasn't at my limit yet. So I ended up adopting Kismet. Funny story behind it that I won't get into, but I really tried to resist, and it just kind of fell into my lap in a hysterical way, which is why his name is Kismet. But
what are some of his medical challenges, Linda?
So really, his immunity is a little bit lowered. There is nothing I do on a day-to-day basis to change with Kismet. All of my cats are inoculated against FIV, so I have no concerns. Well, yes, so I have no concerns about the communicable issue. And even if they weren't, it really takes some deep saliva into blood. It's not something that's going to happen easily. It's just not a concern. No. Teeth are a notorious problem with FIV cats. When I got him his teeth, of course, he also hadn't been vetted and had been living outside, but he had to have several teeth removed, so I did have to pay for that expenditure. And then later he needed some more removed. I think he has 3 or 4 left. I don't know. If they tell me he needs another one removed, I'm just going to tell him finish it off.
Yeah, right.
Because we're not going to keep putting him through these surgeries just to keep one tooth, right?
Yeah, put
But
him under
so
anesthesia is, the least you can do it, the better. The least amount of times.
Exactly. So that has caused a little bit of expense that I had to be aware of. But that's not uncommon in older cats as well. My daughter's cat Tiger had to have surgery to have some cats removed just from age and them being bad. So
Yeah,
it's really not an unheard of. Yeah, had to have some taken out.
Yeah,
so,
4.
Yeah. So see, it's not unheard of in non-FIV cats. So it's really not that huge of a deal, but it was an expense.
But you were
I
a
had to
little
know
worried
going in.
during the pandemic, though, and talk about why.
Yeah, my entire family got COVID, and we found out very quickly as research was done on COVID that cats cannot give it to people. That was a huge thing. People were like wanting to kick their cats out because they didn't want their cat to give it COVID. However, we can give our cats COVID. And 99% of the time, in a healthy cat, it's going to get a little respiratory thing. It's going to act like a cold and it's going to get better. This is the information we have so far. It's ever changing, especially with mutations, but this is the information we have so far. However, if you have a cat that has an illness, Kismet has lowered immunity. So he may not be able to fight it off as well as my other cats that don't have an underlying condition.
Right.
So I was very purposeful about nobody pets Kizzy. It was awful. I felt mean to go, weeks without anyone touching the cat. But I said, if he hops on your bed, you chase him off. If we hurt his feelings, I'm sorry, but this is what we need to do.
Yeah, because you all had it. You all had it.
Yeah, we all had it. Poor Kismet was very unloved for a few. He's loved from afar for a few weeks. But yeah, because with his immunity low, I need to be watching that I don't give him something. And then I watched him very closely for signs of a cold. If he had given one sneeze, he would have been at the vet, because then he's going to need some antivirals or something to help fight this off. Even the cats that have gotten COVID and have had special needs, if they're caught quick enough, they've been able to take care of it. But I just, that's the kind of thing I try to watch out for, with his immunity issues. But that's really it. There's just,
I know it's a misnomer that you can't mix FIV cats and non-FIV cats. You can.
I have not a FIV positive cat with 11 that do not have it, and I've had Kismet for like 5 years, or 10 that don't have it and one that does, and I had him for like 5 years. He hasn't given anyone FIV. It's just not.
I think what scares people is they don't know what kind of care they're going to require, and if they have the ability to handle it both financially and emotionally. But these cats, they're so loving, and they need homes. I mean, my mom's the same way with her dogs. She's got 2 dogs with one eye. She has a 3-legged dog, a
dog.
Two-legged dog. She's like me, the underdogs. And there's a lot of people that want to do that, but they're kind of fearful.
Exactly, which is why I wanted to have this discussion, and just some research. There's so much stuff on the internet about FIV, FLV, FIP. They all start with F, but
A, B, C, D,
there's varying degrees. A, F, G, H, I, J. You need to know what you're getting into. But literally, Kismet has not been anything different other than avoiding him when we had COVID. That was it. I mean, there's really not, and occasionally a tooth surgery. So yeah, it's
so
just
they're
not
just like
that,
any regular cat with no challenges.
Yeah, you wouldn't know. There's nothing about him that's
a little more cost because of the vet and having to get his teeth out. Although the rescue paid for the first one.
Yes.
And those diabetic cats out there too. People are afraid to adopt, or if their own cat becomes diabetic, it's really not that difficult to give them the shot. I mean, I'm part of this diabetic cats group on Facebook, and I laugh because some of these people make a mountain out of a molehill. It's not that bad. It's just, it's not. I mean, your vet can teach you how to do the shot. You don't even do it into the muscle. It's totally under the skin.
Yes.
So I'm hoping people will take that into account and adopt more of those diabetic cats or cats that need sub-Q fluids that end up either living their lives in the shelter rescue or being euthanized.
Yeah.
I hate to use the E word.
We need to do something talking about sub-Q and insulin and how that works. But, a lot of cats are so tolerant, they just deal with it. And
They
then
do.
people work out their own tricks. They wrap them in a towel, and then the cat feels cozy and it gets used to it. I've had people say, they wait till they're feeding them wet food,
That's what I
and while
did.
the cat's feeding the wet food, it gets the poke, and the cats don't even flinch. Have you seen these videos? The cat's like, "I'm just eating. Life is good," and it just
We
got
had
poked.
we had one cat here, diabetic cat with the pet sitting company, and his name was Stashy. He had a mustache. He
Oh
used to
yeah.
we'd go to the refrigerator to get the insulin. He'd just lay down. I'm ready.
Yeah, he
Just
knew it was
waited.
coming.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. And if you do have a tough time, you learn the tricks. I mean, there were people when we were pet sitting that say, I do it in the bathroom with the door shut so I can't run away, yada, yada. But they've worked out that routine. And cats, they're so adaptable. If they're used to getting a shot every day, they're just going to take the shot.
The shot is easier, in my opinion, than giving a pill, if you ask me. Giving a pill,
Yeah.
not because you got to actually pry open that jaw and those teeth, you know?
Yes,
You
yes,
froze for a minute
exactly.
there.
Yeah. Oh,
I hope this
yeah.
works because you've been freezing off and
I
on.
hope so. Uh-oh. Well, we'll see when we play it back, but
Yeah.
I hope. But yeah, sub-Q fluids I think are a little trickier.
Those are
I mean,
harder.
it's basically the same with the needle, but you hold the cat there while but
It
I
takes
was
longer.
watching yes, yeah. So you're gonna have to hold the cat for longer. But I told you I watched a video Hannah Shaw did, and she gets the churros, those, it's like a
Yes.
mushy wet food that's in a tube like
It's
a
in a tube.
Go-Gurt. And
Yeah.
yeah, I've tried other brands too. I've tried Apple Laws. That one went really well. They're good for a lot of things, but I watched her set all this up. It was hysterical. And she opened the churro, and the cat's so excited because the cat knows it's getting churro. Cat doesn't care about any of the rest of this. Meanwhile, she's got all of this in. So she pushes a little up just as she's putting the thing in. And then she just keeps pushing a little bit up. And by the time the cat's done eating the churro, the bag's done. So,
Did you say?
the
Did you
cat's like,
say?
I get a churro.
Did you say
So,
Applause? Applause.
yeah, it's APPL.
Yeah, I know.
Now I'm going to tell you, I don't know.
Off topic. If it is
Yes.
that, they're having a huge cat food recall in the UK of Applause and another brand. 300 cats have died so far.
Oh my goodness.
Probably a separate.
Yeah.
But
yeah. It was
be
like
careful.
Apple, but then it was AWS, like
Uh-huh.
pause. Yeah.
I'll
it was
send you
like,
the article.
please do. Yeah. It was like 5 years ago when I was trying to warm
Okay.
up, which is another place.
I
that
tried
churro
Tiki
and
Cat.
whatever is
Tiki
good
Cat
for.
brand. Boy, you're
Yeah.
frozen.
Yeah. They have their own brand.
Yeah.
Oh. I really hope
The only one of my cats that liked the Tiki Cat was Cupcake. But
Yeah,
right now
exactly.
she's
Yeah.
extra hungry because of whatever's going on with her. We'll find out next week.
Yeah.
So I think she'd eat a rock if I gave it to her.
Yeah. I used one when Karma came home. Sorry, brain fade. When Karma came home, because she's so skittish, and it was a way that she would get closer to me. But
Yes.
because there's this much space, it's
Mhm.
the tube, and she would lick the ends of it, and she was willing to overcome
It's
her
tempting
fear
enough.
of me, and
Yeah.
her wish to avoid me was not as strong as her desire to eat that thing.
Yeah.
So
But
it really helped out.
now she's around you guys. I mean, you can't just reach over and
Yes.
pet her, but she
Right.
socializes with you by being in the same room and on the bed with you.
Yes.
Which
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Major big.
Yes, and she loves on Kismet all day long. But yeah, so I think you need to take a look, at what's involved in this cat's care. We've had cats that needed chemo treatment, whatever pills, whatever they had to be kept separate because their immunity, etc. And you have to be very careful that, especially if you're putting medications into their food, that the other cats don't get it. So there are a few things there that were but again, really not earth shattering, not something
No.
that's going to take your 24/7 life to be administering and nursing this cat. It's just not. And the truth is, maybe you adopt a perfectly healthy cat. Like you said, they could develop diabetes. They could end up needing sub-Q fluids, especially as they age. They could end up, you can find out later.
Well,
we didn't know when we took Boo Boo in that he was FIV
why do
positive.
you think these cats end up in the shelters? Because somebody's cat came down with whatever and they didn't know how to handle it. So
Yeah.
off to the shelter they go, and they really don't need to. And next to senior cats, special needs and cats that require medications are the most overlooked.
Right.
But I'm telling you, they know.
Right.
I can tell the difference between my cats that lived in a shelter versus a rescue. They're just so grateful. They really are. I've heard people say that about dogs, and I'm like, I never noticed because I had mostly rescue cats, but now I've got some shelter cats, and they do appreciate it on a different level.
Yeah. Well, that's, Kismet was labeled unadoptable. Nobody wanted Kismet because of FIV. And every once in a while he's loving on me, and I just think, fools that you passed up this cat. This is the coolest cat ever.
I know. He's awesome.
He's so loving, and he's so gentle, and he's not ornery. He's just an amazing cat. And I feel sorry for everybody. I'm grateful because I ended up with him, but I feel sorry for everybody that passed him up because they have no idea what they just passed up because of a label.
It's not hard.
Just not, do your research. No.
And you can always ask us questions too at catbehavioralliance.com.
Yes.
If you're thinking of getting a special needs cat and you're worried about it, that's something we can coach you through too during one of our behavior sessions.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And Google if the cat you're interested in, or you're thinking about this, and the cat's got something that you're not aware of, because again, I didn't know anything about FIV. Just Google it, do some research, find out what. And there are support groups, like you're in a diabetic cat group on Facebook. There are groups. There's a group for everything on Facebook.
Yeah.
There's a group for everything. There's a left-handers, I'm in it, group on Facebook.
That's hilarious. Yeah, you think of it, it's on Facebook.
It is, yes. So, just do a little research.
There's another cataholic group. Our Facebook group is Cataholics. There's another one called Cataholics.
That's awesome.
I want to join it just to see what they talk about.
See what's up on there. But I just, some of the best, Kismet, it just, my heart. You can tell I'm a mom who's in love, right? That is just such an amazing cat. And if he had suffered, I could actually cry. If he had just spent his whole life in a shelter or a rescue because nobody would take him because of FIV.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a great rescue, but nothing is a home with a lap, right? Nothing. So if he'd have missed out on that just because he's FIV, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, and then Karma would have missed out too, because nobody was going to start Karma. Nobody.
She was gorgeous. Everybody looked at her, but when the cat won't even let you touch her, it's like, okay, I'm done now. So she's
some of those shy cats though, they really are worth a second look, because it just takes them getting in a stable environment, and being able to trust. We're working with a lady now that she adopted a cat. She's been there about a month, and she still has some behaviors that are left over from having been abandoned.
Yeah. And she's just going to need to build up some trust. There's some things that she needs to put into place to help her with the behaviors. But a lot of this is just, the time for this cat to trust her and realize that she's not going to throw him out of the house the way the previous humans did.
Yeah. That's a whole
way and leave him on the porch. Yeah. But my lips are getting all tight. So I
go to, let me look at our cat adoptions. Did I do anything with special needs cats? If I haven't written one, we need to.
Yes, it's so rewarding, and there's just really nothing. Rita's had cats with cancer. I had a cat with cancer. We've been through all this gambit.
Okay, you need to write one.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do then. I guess I have my assignment, but
I love now that we both write the blog, because for years it was just me.
So much fun. I enjoy it a lot. So you just don't want to be. Oh, well, and there's Dexter. You took that. Look at those eyes. Look at those eyes, my baby. I am in love with that cat. But Dexter appeared on your porch, and you took him in, and when you got him to the vet. Had the vet told you that he had ABC disease?
Well,
what are you going to do?
He'd have been here anyway.
Exactly.
He does have a deficit in that he's a black cat. That's one reason I wanted to get him inside, because, he's a black cat. We just did a show with Michelle Fern and Pam Johnson Bennett, specifically about black cats. And we'll be airing
Yes.
that on our 19 Cats and Counting as well.
Yeah. As well as Catitude. Yeah. But yeah, I guess I would really, if you've got heart cats and you want to do the most good, I always say go in and ask them who's unadoptable.
Who's been there the longest? Who's been here?
Yes.
Who has the least chance of getting adopted? Check those cats out. There's wonderful, wonderful kitties that never get a chance.
And if they tell you, well, this cat has whatever, do a little research on it. Don't bring the cat home that day. Go home, do a little research on it, and find out if it's something that you can handle, because most of the stuff really is not all that difficult. I think between Rita and I, we've had everything you can have: cancer and thyroid and diabetes. And
I think just, we haven't had the ones with I can never remember the name of the disease, where they have the motor skill issue.
What is it?
We have
cerebellar hydro
that
dysplasia, something like that. Yes,
that's what
they're great.
They are.
That's another one. Those cats are great. It's a neurological thing. They are not need any kind of special treatment or medication. No. They are not going to. They're not as agile. So again, you may need to want to get a litter pan that's lower, like you do for Smoochie. But yeah, they're living their lives, and it can look off-putting. I mean, I know Jackie's got a few of them, and people, what's wrong with that cat? Nothing's wrong with that cat.
It's a little bit at first. It's a little shocking if you've never seen one before. But
they look like they're drunk, and they're trying to get there. And occasionally they fall over, but they get back up again, and they need love. And there's really no extra time commitment, or medical knowledge that comes along with having one of these cats.
Why are you doing that? Dexter's trying to turn the page in my
in your notebook. That's awesome. Dexter's very helpful.
Yes. Thank you, Dexter.
Yes.
So get out there, meet those kitties. Write to us if you're not sure about someone, but
yes,
they're worth a look, and they're very loyal.
Yes, you'll be surprised at what you get back.
For sure. Visit us, catbehavioralliance.com. Until next time.